Alright, so today's video, we're watching a Gold 1 support on PC playing Kiriko. It's gonna be interesting watching Kiriko now. I feel like Kiriko's perks has also, like, shifted some playstyle for Kiriko, like, in a good way. So, we'll see. They say, hi, since Season 9, I've been jumping between Gold 1 and Plat 4, and this season I decided that I was going to play mostly comp in hopes of finally hitting Diamond. This is probably the longest comp match I've had since I started playing, and one of the most nerve-wracking. We started on defense, and to be honest, our team was all over the place. We kept going in, 1 or 2 at a time, and just couldn't manage to group at any point, so the enemy team managed to push in with over 4 minutes on the clock. At that point, part of me had given up in between rounds. My team and I talked about what happened and what we could change to try and make it work. I think this game does a good job of showcasing how I usually try to play, and I really want to know what things I can work on to start climbing. Any advice or criticism you have would be really appreciated. Thank you so much for your time. All right, sounds good. Let's find out some Kiriko gameplay. A little bit late to the spam, but right idea. Just be careful of the Widow shot, but... I mean, already I'm going to tell you don't use cleanse there. Your queen has enough self-sustain to be able to survive that. I really want you to get in the mindset of, like, your cleanse is an important ability that you don't just throw randomly. They're fine. Probably won't matter, but, like, right away, if that's, like, your cleanse, that's, like, setting the tone as, like, you're going to use your cleanse randomly. You know what I mean? Ash is kind of on an isolated spot. Not much you can do about that. So, like, right there, what you probably want to do is you probably want to look to, like, wall climb out. I know this vortex is here, but you can go, like, here, and, like, that's what needs to be your mindset. Whenever you TP somewhere, like, I want you to start thinking about using, like, wall climbing as an escape, right? Like, use your wall climb as an escape rather than, like, just try to run away into, like, your team again. I find that a lot of people do that on Kiriko, including myself sometimes, and I've had to learn, like, mobility is your friend on Kiriko. Use it.
Get them off the objective.
Yep. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, on Kiriko, you have so much mobility. You listen, that cleanse, I'm on. I don't know what your soldier's doing right there. So I get the idea behind that cleanse because they just stood. I don't know what the soldier's plan was there, and they got out. So that cleanse saved them. So I'm not gonna be mad about that one because, like, your soldier was just standing there. But yeah, Kiriko's all about using your mobility efficiently and using that to your strength, whether it's for damage, whether it's for healing. I'll be honest with you, I get your cleanse there, your teammate's position was just off. That's just a bad position by your teammates.
I'm on fire.
Yep.
Thought they were dead, but I guess not.
That's one of those weird ones where, like, the reminders in your backline, your teammates aren't helping you, your decision is to teleport into their team or teleport away from you. You kind of were hecked there. And I think I once again want to default back to start to look for escapes with mobility rather than relying on your teammates for swift step. Granted, you want to use your swift step, but, like, you know.
What's up?
I think it's good to just look to escape. Here we go. Ready? Wait on your ult. Wait on your ult. Good cleanse. Okay. Something I've seen recently, and I'm gonna pause for a second. So something I've seen recently is I've seen it in OWCS too, which is why I'm bringing it up. I've seen a lot of double support alt stack recently as, like, a viable strategy. I actually think if you Kitsune this, there's a really good chance you just hold there. So you have 2 options here. You hold your Kitsune, which is the safe play, right? Which I'm fine with. Like, it's a safe play. But you also have the a little bit more risky, but you might have the ability to, like, follow up and win because of it. I think there's a world here where you actually could have, at least in my opinion, ran or hit your Kitsune and just see what happens. And the only reason why I'm bringing that up is because you know how I talk about being proactive. I just want to basically show you a moment where being proactive could work here. It doesn't mean it's a guaranteed work, but it could work here. And like, if you Kitsune that right when the Juno ult happened, I would have been interested to see how it went, is where I'm at. Because I've seen a lot of the stacking recently on that. It's become a little bit of a different change of philosophy, so.
Kitsune gains new champions.
Repeat what? I mean, I was just talking about the Kitsune thing. And, like, how, like, it's important to use your mobility before that is what I was talking about. You never feel confident with your Kiriko ultimate? Well, the thing is like, Here's the best way to explain Kiriko ultimate. Think of it as an ultimate that helps your teammates more than it just helps you. And I think a lot of people with Kitsune, like, think about, like, okay, where can it benefit me the most? But a lot of the time, it's how does it benefit your teammates? It's pretty simple. If your teammates are standing there and nothing's happening, or, like, you're about to take a team fight, you can't go wrong by hitting your Kitsune button. Like, you can't, like, there's no, like, if somebody gets mad about you using your Kitsune when everybody's in front of you and you're ready to go, like, that's it. Like, there's no, it's just a good ability to use. Like, a good ultimate to use. Like, that's what's good about, like, that's what you have to do. You know, it's, the best way to put it is, unless you throw your, like, your Kitsune into, like, a wall, I did it the other day where it went, like, 2 feet, you're generally gonna have a good Kitsune. I would swift step to your left in a second, by the way. I know they're on point. Oh, never mind. Yep, I was gonna say. Rough start. Definitely a rough start. Is it a pre-fight ultimate? It's like an engage ultimate. Like, it's not like a pre-fight, like, don't think of it as like window. Think of it as like an aggressive speed boost. Like, you would use it like aggressively. But it helps your teammates massively. Like, you basically can, like, one thing about Kiriko Ultimate that I think a lot of people forget is you basically control the ult economy with Kiriko Ultimate. And what that means is like your ultimate basically builds a lot of stuff for your teammates. Like, you can build a lot of ultimates by just letting loose of that ult. And I think that's, you know, something that we need to see more of from Kiriko. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, that was one of those rough halves. Yeah, it still might lag out. But did you, Jay? Heck yeah, that was fun. Yeah, it would still lag out, unfortunately, featured. This video, yeah. Yep, apparently it does it with highlights too. That's why I can't, like, I can't change the speed. I can't fast forward. Like, I just basically have to watch it as is. So far, so good.
Like hunting the shadow.
Dodge this.
I'm here.
Was that Sojin full? I honestly forgot what happened there. Was that bad? Not bad. Good kills. Everything seems pretty safe so far. So the Ramatra feels oppressive. How should the team be dealing with him? I mean, I think the team did the right choice. You can't go wrong with a Zarya swap right now in current Overwatch. Zarya's really strong. So a lot of Ramatras probably won't play around that. So when you get your Kitsune here, by the way, I want you to launch this if you survive this initial burst. If you don't survive this initial burst, it's okay if you save it. But if you end up like, no, save it. You made the correct choice there. That's the one moment where I probably wouldn't counter with your Kitsune. There's moments where I would like you to counter, but I think Moira ultimate, like, if your teammates don't survive that initial burst, just fall over. Plus, like, their whole team just ulted. They're gonna have Valk and maybe a Bob. Maybe a Bob. Yep. So, correct decision on holding that. But now, this is where I want to see you lead in. Like, this is where, like, okay, Vortex is done. You don't have anything to worry about. Like, this is where I would like to see a bit more aggression. Okay. Now, still, I would still go for the win here. But I'll let you dictate this. There's a Bob behind you, so that Bob's going to roll you if you take that position. You got lucky there because that Bob was still there. Remember, like, where that Bob was initially. You should have just played around the statue rather than trying to push into the point. I'll tell you when to Kitsune. Basically, I'm going to pause before anything happens. When I would Kitsune is here. You ready? The moment I see them use their Nemesis form and their Vortex, I'm just launching that thing. So, like, after it's done. So the Vortex is already out. You're seeing the Vortex hit the ground. Knowing how a lot of people play Ramatra, that Ramatra is going to feel obligated to go into Nemesis form. They're going to pop Nemesis form. You wait about 3 seconds, Kitsune, their Nemesis form will fall off at that point, and then you just go and win the team fight. But, like, that's your timing, and you need to be ready for it. There's the Vortex. They immediately popped it. You went a little bit early, but I think it's still going to be fine. Yep, you're good. Great timing. Good job. You could have waited 1 extra second if you wanted to, but I'm okay with that timing too. So excellent play. And it's funny because the Ramatra did exactly what I said they would do. Especially when I watch them spectating around like gold. Ramatra's like, just they're like the gameplay loop is I throw a Vortex and I Nemesis form no matter what. And that's what they did, and they just fall over. And that's why those ults are important too. Like, you pop your ult there and you're already at 30% of your next one because you were building your ultimate after that was already done. Because you didn't like full team wipe them, But you once your teammates get a kill, you can follow up and do more. So that's good. Looks like you went with the damage perk. This is pretty much a common perk right now I've seen for Kiriko. You basically just damage, you heal, you throw 2 heals up. I think it's pretty straightforward and a pretty good ultimate at that. Good purple by your teammate. You're probably dead though. You could try to swift step that, but I don't think it matters. But you have a Kitsune again. I mean, you can't go wrong with another Kitsune here. I'd be super pumped if I were you. What are we watching? A gold Kiriko looking for some feedback. Who's also in the chat. I do got to say, already you really need to work on your Suzus. It's not even like that you missed your Suzu there. It's that your reaction is to constantly Suzu people when they're even remotely taking damage. And like, there's gonna be moments where you do need to use that, but I feel like you have this habit of like, oh, someone's taking damage. My first reaction is throw a Suzu at the floor. And I just think sometimes you want to think about what you need your Suzu for. Like it's a really good ability. You know what I mean? So, that's enough said on that one, you know? So.
Come to me for heals.
Like right now, like I guarantee you if you had Suzu there, you probably would have tried to Suzu your Sojourn. Now in hindsight, maybe it helps keep your Sojourn alive there, but at some points, like, if your teammates are just gonna like run in a straight line and feed, that's more on your teammate at that point too, right? Like, you know. If you want, just do it at this. Perfect. I always say, I'd rather see you use your ultimate right here to guarantee you win a team fight than to hold on to it waiting for the perfect moment. Just guarantee you get the point. The more time you have to win on third, the more likely you'll finish with time. And that's what you need. Mercy is in a spot where I think Mercy needs a bit of an improvement on perks, for sure. I think most people would say that, but Blizzard recently had their Q&A and talked about that, so. Yeah, I've been winning a ton on Sojourns. But, like, Sojourn in this current version is way more fun than, like, the Season 1 version, in my opinion.
Feel better?
I'm 50-50 on that one. I think that was fine. On your Suzu. I saw what you saw too. I just was like, maybe, but it worked. You'll have your Suzu up in time anyway. I love that you heal people when doing damage now with that perk on Kiriko. It's so good. You can pop your Kitsune again, by the way, if you get it here early. Also, remember, Bob's only slept for 3 seconds now. Good cleanse. That's a good cleanse. But you need to be ready. Okay, so like this is the problem is like if a Ramatra's in front of you, you at that point need to be ready to like swift step. Like you need to be holding your button down. I love the idea of the Suzu because like that was gonna save your teammates, but you really need to get in the mindset of like you need to throw that like immediately or like swift step immediately. You would survive that initially, and look where your teammates are at. There's a good chance that like you don't even get killed when you TP into your teammate. But I'd rather see you TP into your teammate than die to a Ramatra when you have your swift step up. Straight up. You wish one of the major perks was just a self-destruct? I mean, that would be something, wouldn't it? So there you go. I mean, your team doesn't like... Obviously, your team doesn't have the same time the other team does, but you had a good attack. Like, it's... Sometimes when you have a 4-minute, like, defense and, like, the team rolls you, it's not always, like, your team is just bad or, like, playing bad. It's just sometimes the other team wins team fights that they normally wouldn't win. And, like, that's the timer. Now, you have opportunity here. All right. Teammates are being healed. Where's your tank at? I haven't seen your tank. I'm so confused. Why was the sim turrets doing damage through the wall? Did I see that right, or was that just like a visual bug? That must have been a visual bug. That was weird. Yeah. See, even there, I would have loved the TP cleanse play, but like it is what it is in that sense. Like it's. That was a. Oh, you have the double swift step. Okay, I was gonna say. Okay, you have the double swift step perk. That's fine. I'm okay with that one. That cleanse was unfortunately necessary. Yep, I know why you did that one. Because you got to keep yourself alive during that one too, because you can't predict when you get the position in. Rift Marker Yoru, thank you for the 2 gifted. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks. Nice job. Big slam alert. This is a weird team fight. I'm on it. You know what? I'm not even going to sit here and fault you for that, Kitsune. I'd rather see you hit that button in an overtime game than save it. Like, could you have saved it? Yes. But, like, I'd rather see you do that than not. You know what I mean? Your Reaper should go try to make an active play now with the ult. Is basically what needs to happen. Because if your Reaper doesn't go to make a play, is there a... Okay. Ryan can be nanoed. Uh-oh. It's on you. Excellent. And by the way, you see why I said it's really important? Like, do you see why, like, right there I said it's really important? To, like, use your wall climb? That was why I like to see that. Like, if you have, like, your ability to wall climb and, like, have mobility, why not use it? That's why that was such a good play. Like, that's why I was, like, earlier when you weren't wall climbing and saving yourself that way, I'm like, why not? All right, what are we at here? 85%? Okay, this is reasonable. You can do it.
Feels like sunlight, huh?
Big slam alert! Use your ult. You got that part down. You got that part down. The hitting your ult button, even like that, I love it. Perfect. And once again, when you pop your ultimate, you're also building ultimates for your other team. You're also building ults for your other team. Like, if you look at everything here, like, look at, like, the rest of your team, a lot of people who just use ultimates also have their ultimates again. And that's why I get so adamant on being aggressive with Kitsune. Remember, it enables your teammates too, not just you.
Like a gentle rain.
Yep. Play positioning for a second here. Like, you're Ryan and although honestly, if it wasn't for you going near the point sometimes, great block by your teammate. Great Reaper ult, made to the left with no ice block. I want you to look at your Reaper here. Do not waste this ult. Do not waste the Suzu. I mean, unless your team really hexes this one up and gets Mei ulted fully. So, this is a good time to talk about what you need to do in these situations. Because a lot of times when people win team fights, what ends up happening is you go into AFK mode. And, like, AFK mode isn't necessarily a bad thing. I even have this happen sometimes in, like, my rank games, and, like, that's in top 500, right? So, what you would do here is you go, what do they have? Okay? And the reason why you ask this question to yourself and why it's important to ask the question of what do you have here, I'll explain why right now very quickly, okay? So the reason why you explain, if you haven't seen a Mei ultimate and you know they have Mei ultimate, do you want to stack on the cart like you are right now? No. The reason why you don't want to stack on the cart is because you're detecting they have a Mei ultimate, and that Mei ultimate can get you killed. So what you need to do is play back now, tell your teammates to stay on cart, or trust that your teammates will stay on cart, and be ready to Suzu that, okay?
What's up?
The Eye of Horus watches over you.
Like munching a shadow.
I'm on my game now.
Do you notice what you did? You stacked on the cart, you Suzu'd, forgot they had Mei ult, and then some of your teammates died to Mei ult. Whether or not you win this team fight, do you see why I wanted you to prepare for that? You see what I'm talking about? Like, you still might win this, but it could have easily gone the other way. And that's why it's important to track ultimates. Big slam alert! That's why it's super important to track ultimates in that situation, because while your team won that, it doesn't always go that way. And that's why it's very important to get out of the mindset of I need to throw my Suzu at people and just more predict what they have so you know when you can use your Suzu more freely. All right, let's see what happens here. See how your defense goes. I mean, obviously, last time your team got rolled, but one of the cool parts about, you know, the overtime mechanic is also a catch-up mechanic. So because your teammates won so many team fights in overtime, you actually minimized how many team fights are needed to happen to win. So now their team, even though they have 4 minutes, needs an extra team fight per point most of the time, depending on how you play it, to capture the point. So you actually get, not an advantage, but, like, it certainly helps you. I mean, it kind of is an advantage. Like, you have less time, but if you win fights, you're going to basically capture it more. This is not me on Kiriko, no. This is Queen in the chat. Yeah, so far this is fine. You wonder if that's you on Mercy on the other team? Are you in gold on PC? Because if so, that might be you.
I'm with you. Enemy turret.
You're now low plat. I mean, this is a gold 1 plat game, so that could be you. Damn. Rough start again, but that's because your teammates are playing very far up. Your replays just look for like a, what is it, a 25-minute King's Row.
Enemy turret ahead.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not then. Who knows? All right, you're sorry just playing a little too aggro there. I would have liked to see you have your Suzu there, but you had to use it, so it is what it is. Good job using your mobility to get out. Now just be patient here with the heals. All right, just be patient with the heals. Don't have to overdo it or anything. You're fine. Plenty of time left in this game. You're doing the right play. You can do a shot there. Nice play. Everything. The sequence here was totally fine with me. Good job.
Kitsune is ready.
Once your Zarya is close to being back, launch this Kitsune because you want to gain the map control. I would still Kitsune this, and I want to explain why. A lot of people on King's Row forget that one of the hardest things to do is get through a choke. This is a choke. So my vision here is that if you pop your ultimate, even if it's like a 4v5, your Kitsune still will be good enough and you'll be able to build another one before the end of the game. So what you do is, I like the risk-reward aspect of this part right here where you basically pop your Kitsune, and then if you get the win, you now force them back and you basically take a minute and a half off the clock by the time they get here, right? So my vision is, why not send it here? If you win, you get map control, and like this whole choke is taken care of. If you don't win, they're probably going to have to counter ult in some form, so you at least get ults reset, and then your teammates still have good ultimates to win after. So that's my vision. We'll see how it goes.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Perfect. Already I'm fine with this, except the swift step part. But look what happened. You pop your Kitsune. You know, obviously you don't want to over-out like you did as a team, but the other team who needs their ultimates to win fights just had to use 2 ultimates to be able to counter what your team was doing. Granted, you did give up some of your ultimates too. I'm still fine with that because getting their ult pool out is going to go in the favor of your team towards the end of this. Once again, think about where your teammate is falling back to. You don't have to waste your Suzu there. They're going to be fine. You have a very reactionary style on Suzu where you see somebody getting low, but you also don't take into account what's going on during the game.
Like a gentle rain.
You on that one? That would have been funny if it was. That Suzu, I'm a little bit more okay with because your teammates, your teammates all looked away from the left side, so you just saved them with a Suzu when you didn't need it for a major ultimate because they already used major ultimate. So that one's fine. See, it's different every single time, but I want to show you where it's good and where it's bad. Yeah, that's what it feels like. You know, that's a good way to put it, Super Non, is like basically, it feels like you're almost using your Suzu as an honor grenade, and like, that's not ideal, because like, you can't consistently use it like an honor grenade. You can use your honor grenade way more freely than a Suzu.
Almost there. Keep up the defense.
See, like right there, your honor wasn't even close to dead yet there, and like your reaction is to pop your Suzu to protect them from the damage that they could get after. At the very worst, why not wait like an extra second so you at least get some ult charge for the Suzu, right? Like you're missing out on like a bunch of ult charge there too because of like the little bit of healing you get from it. And now when you need your Suzu for this grab, you don't have it because you used it on a Ana 2 feet in front of you who took 4 damage. See what I'm saying? Good news is you now have a Suzu again. Remember earlier when you popped your ultimate and then now you have it? Or I mean Kitsune. I always say Suzu, but Kitsune. So pop that and just get the win. I think you just pop Kitsune, you win this game. I would use it sooner than... I still think you're using your Kitsune way too early, but you still used it, and you're gonna win this game. So nice job of winning it. I think for you, like you have some right ideas, but I think for your next step to keep climbing and getting better, and like kind of like to get out of the inconsistency part where you're kind of stuck in the same rank, I think the first step for you here is to understand that one, your Suzus need to be based off of what they have, and understanding like, okay, I need Suzu for this. If I don't need Suzu for this, I can be a little bit more free with how I use my Suzus. If they do have this, I can't use my Suzu like that because the moment I use it, it's almost like a telltale sign for the other team to pop their ultimates, right? If the other team is afraid of popping their ultimates or they're not as aggressive, one thing is for sure, when they know a Suzu's out, they know that their ultimate's going to be better to begin with and they're more likely to use it. So let's stop doing that. Remember that your Swift Step is a good escape tool, but you don't use it enough. And on top of that, you had moments where you never used your mobility. So I want you to get in the mindset of one, always position yourself a little bit better so Ramatras can't just kill you for free. Number 2, your swift step is good. You can literally hold your swift step button down and it will go to the first person and it remotely hovers over. So like you have many opportunities and situations to get out. And then obviously use your Kitsunes, you know, a bit more aggressively. Once again, I think you're on the right pace for that. I saw like 80% of the time was good. And of course, like, you know, back to circle and back to the Suzu. Stop trying to save your teammates with the Suzu like an honor grenade. It was a good example from Supernon in the chat. So you had good moments. I think you can climb. You just need to apply that stuff. But use your mobility more. Straight up. Use your mobility more and stop Suzu when, like, you know, like it's on cooldown. You're going to save that. All right? So you can do this. You absolutely can keep climbing. All right? You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you have, subscribe to all the YouTubes if you haven't. Leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating, look in the description below. We also record these live on stream. Oh, when I say the description below, my Discord, we also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch app below the webcam, also stream on YouTube, so stop by if you haven't. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day /night.